Okay. Welcome to our Spoon TV Live. We are bringing you live pictures from the Capitol building here in Monrovia, where these are the pro-Fonati Kofa Bloc. We are receiving information, and they are heading to the Central, that's a police station, where they receive information that the head of security here was arrested and put behind bars. So they are heading to that location. Meanwhile, the majority bloc is also heading to a Capitol building to hold their session. So you can see the lawmakers now in number are going to release, probably unveil the security. He was arrested. We are told by national police. Labrador National Police. So the pro-Fonati Bloc is donning T-shirt. Law is the law, and with red cap, they are supporting, quote unquote, the law. So we may not go alone because the security situation here is really, really tight. So to even make my way here, it was possible through some means. So hear this, they are warning those following the lawmakers to Central. So any moment from now, the majority bloc will be arriving here on Capitol Hill to hold their session. But what we are hearing also, and can confirm, because Mo Ali did say that he will be appearing in session, quoting that the letter sent him did not carry any inscription majority bloc. So you can see this is the entrance, or you call it the small gate of the Capitol building, already protected by police officers to avoid any occurrence of violence or disturbances here up Capitol Hill. So they are protecting this place. Staffers are coming. Just make sure you display your ID. Of course, you will be given easy passage. You'll be given easy passage for those without ID card. Certainly, you will not enter. You will not enter. So it's just a straight mandate. I can see that lady coming. She displayed her ID and she is coming freely. No hammering. For those journalists that are coming here, you must be an assigned journalist with your name taken down or your name on the listing of the House of Representatives or the Liberian Senate. So we will go before the rotunda and show you pictures of the arrival of the majority bloc. They will be arriving very, very soon. We just thought to bring you this live because we saw the pro-Fonati Bloc heading to the police station, that's Central, because they got information that the head of security here on up Capitol Hill was arrested and put behind bars. So my name is Haji Masale. Wherever you are watching us from, I'd like to say welcome to Spoon TV. You can hear the siren. It shows that there is a sign that the majority bloc has arrived. Yes, they are in a long queue as always, serene, and they will display their numbers. They will display that number before the public glare, and then they can now proceed to the joint chamber. So you see Representative Colette there in tete-a-tete with Representative Clarence Gar. So what we are hearing, Mo Ali and all our officials that were invited by plenary will be arriving or will be appearing before a plenary, not full plenary, but plenary of the majority bloc. Legislative politics is all about number. It's all about number. So if they did not have this number, they wouldn't be upbeat about what they are doing. So the majority members are now heading to the joint chamber of the Capitol building. So right now we are passing through the rotunda of the Capitol building. So I can see Momo Safa Koto. I can see Grand Jida representative. See Lofa. Okay. Yeah, Grand Jida. So that is Momo Safa Koto of Lofa County.
I mean, you come, because the people can nobody can do it again.
Yes, sir. You sure of that?
Sure.
You sure Mo Ali going to appear also?
Mo Ali will appear. If not appear, will appear.
Other than that? Other than that? Contempt charges. We are waiting. Members of the executive who have been summoned here. So you listen to Representative Momo Safa Koto. So let's just show you the seat. Let's show you the seat. So we reported yesterday that the seats here were uprooted by new individuals. Investigations were ongoing yesterday, and the police have apprehended the chief of security on the grounds of Capitol building right now here at the police station, and the minority members just walked to the police station, and we are hearing that a little commotion is taking place there. That which we cannot confirm on this live, but that's the information we are hearing. So the lawmakers were able to procure these chairs because in their mind, the Liberian people work must be carried out whether hindered or unhindered. Representative Glikia from Nima County just arrived and he's taking his seat. Representative Richard Nangbekun also sitting. This is Representative Collins sitting so prettily alongside his kinsmen from Lofa County. We'll show you some of the lawmakers that have already arrived. You have the presiding. The presiding is yet to come. The deputy speaker, Thomas Fala, he will arrive shortly. But we have the co-presiding Clarence Carr of Margibi County. Federal lawmaker Sekou Kane is here also. This is Sekou Kane. Already you have people trooping away into the joint chamber. And you look around, you see people still coming in to witness what is historic here in Liberia.
Attention, please. With the exception of security and journalists, with the rest of the crew, please use the steps and go up steps, please. Do not get in a section with the lawmakers, please. Unacceptable. Only the journalists, the security, and the few people that are controlling the system right here. The rest should please abide by the security instruction and go upstairs. We beg you, please. Okay. And additionally, you don't have to go to the first side to stand one another. You can just stand at the back. The space is sufficient enough to accommodate everybody, please. We beg you, please.
So where we are? Kevin May. Kevin. Joseph Smart.
Security.
Chief. Okay, we see the arrival of the Deputy Speaker, Thomas Fala.
Thomas Fala. We see Representative James.
Good morning, Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Presiding.
Okay, so the presiding officer, Thomas Fala, has arrived, and there you see him sitting alongside the co-presiding Representative Clarence Carr of Margibi County, also flanked by Representative Famule from Bon County. So the president did write the chief clerk asking for extension again for the submission of the national budget, the draft national budget. What we are hearing again today or Thursday latest, the president or the executive will submit the draft national budget to the majority members. So you're watching Spoon TV. Wherever you are, we say welcome. My name is Haji Masale. Bringing you this live event. This live event here at the joint chamber of the House of the Legislature.
Signing announced, please call the session to order. Distinguished colleagues, section is being called to order. Please have your seats. Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Co-Presiding Officer, and my distinguished Honorable ladies and gentlemen of the Honorable House of Representatives. I have the honor at this time to announce to you the 8th-day sitting of the third quarter of the Honorable House of Representatives and that of the first session of the 55th Legislature of the Republic of Liberia. And now, therefore, this session is hereby called to order, and it is hereby so ordered.
First, good morning, Honorable Presiding and co-presiding members of this distinguished body. Good morning to all. I've come to speak to you on the subject of what pride can do. Taking from the text Proverbs 16:18. It reads, pride goes before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall. Many people look at adultery, fornication, and other sins as the most heinous sins. But pride is the most destructive sin. Amen. May I have your undivided attention? Pride is a 5-letter word. Now, amen.
We are receiving information that there is a breakthrough here, so you'll see people running here. The door is being removed.
We are agents of the devil.
They are using pepper spray. They are using tear gas in the judge chamber. They are breaking the place. They are hearing the group of men. Pepper spray is being used. So while session is going on, you have a group of men making their way to intrude into this session, but these are security officers.
If somebody is about to be disgraced, they become proud. If somebody is about to be dethroned, they become proud. When somebody is about to lose his or her respect, that person becomes proud. The Bible tells us pride comes before destruction. Many people today that have fallen, they fell because of pride. Satan fell because of pride.
So
we are
telling
you this body,
the intruders,
as the Lord
the intruders were able to send in tear gas and pepper spray in here. So you will see the lawmakers
The Bible says,
not
humble
feeling
yourself
comfortable.
before the Lord,
Representative
and the Lord
Clarice
will
Carr
exalt you.
is using marks,
And so,
nose marks, because of the pepper spray
you will
used
be
by
in
the
position to
intruders.
always study in the things of God. May God bless you, and let us pray. Lord Jesus, we thank you for this day. We pray that you bless us.
This is Representative Koga.
In everything that we do, for God hates pride. Take control of the session now. Take control of everything. Protect us against physical and spiritual harm and danger. I pray that you will lead through the presiding officer and the representatives in chamber. Bless us all now in Jesus' name. I pray and for his glory. Amen.
Roll call.
Roll of the honorable members of the House of Representatives of the 55th Legislature of the Republic of Liberia. Honorable Councilor J. Funatiko Fala, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Republic of Liberia. Honorable Thomas P. Fala, Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Republic of Liberia. Masubaino County. Honorable Yatu Wiki Barry. Honorable Sekou S. Kane. Honorable Sumoke Momba. Honorable Anthony Marcus M. Thomas. Honorable Priscilla A. Cooper. Honorable Reverend Dr. Samuel Aro Enders. Honorable Emmanuel Dan. Honorable Prince A. George. Honorable Francis Afogo Jr. Honorable Yage Wakoluba. Honorable Richard N. Kum. Honorable Gary Koluba Yobo. Honorable Edward Pape Fongo. Honorable Muka Kekula Kamara. Honorable Abu Bana Kamara. Honorable Jason Rabi Sibo. Honorable Benabu Bessie Jr. Grand Bassa County. Honorable Azeki Bunny. Honorable J. Clarence T. Banks. Honorable Matthew Joe. Honorable Alfred A. Fongo. Honorable Thomas A. Bosman II. Sanyo County. Honorable Thomas Romeo Kuya. Honorable Santley Kujuwea. Honorable Ellison Bonoa. Maryland County. Honorable P. Mike Jury. Honorable Anthony F. Williams. Honorable Austin Blady Taylor. Blanket Mao County. Honorable Kentu Masale. Honorable Mambe Dose. Honorable Wesley Suni Fegai. Home County. Honorable Praying K. Kwena. Honorable James M. Kule. Honorable Sarah Mavi Cole. Honorable Raul Flower Wamba. Honorable Eugene J. Colley. Honorable Moima Bridge Meza. Honorable Fuller E. Founder. Lofa County. Honorable Dewey Efria. Honorable Mama Shafa Koto. Honorable BCK Collins. Honorable Grayson D. Kewu. Limba County. Honorable Samuel M. Brown Sr. Honorable Yaya D. Crombo. Honorable Mega E. Gale. Honorable Congress M. Marshall Sr. Honorable Samuel D. Koga. Honorable Robert T. Glegia. Honorable Musa Asambelete. Honorable C. S. Ghana. Honorable
Security, please keep it quiet. Please leave the act. Please. Session is in order, please.
Grand Gide County. Honorable Jeremiah G. Shoka Sr. Honorable Marie G. Johnson. Legacy TV II. Momi County. Honorable Papa Obidaya Bani. Honorable Madam Bishop Johnson Jr. Honorable Sam P. Jala. Magini County. Honorable Rhoda Obi Cooper. Honorable Awake Jones. Honorable Ellie A. Atware. Honorable Emmanuel Yang. Clary Gita. Riverside County. Honorable Ellie J. Grant. Honorable C. Tikwa. Grand Crew County. Honorable Nathaniel M. Bawe Sr. Honorable G. County. Honorable Alexander Paul. Honorable Agnes B. Knoplewo. Honorable Johnson S. M. Williams Sr. Mapolu County. Honorable Sina A. Norman. Honorable Luther S. Collins. And Honorable Mustafa Warite. Honorable Presiding Officer, Honorable Members of the House of Representatives, there are 42 Honorable Members present, 13 absent, 1 Honorable Member excused. Thank you very much.
Distinguished colleagues, with 42 members present, constitute a quorum for the order of business.
So we can see the lawmakers are sneezing because of the pepper spray used, and everyone
into this junction mosque, and this not going to pretend us we're going to proceed with our session. Please manage it well. Thank you. Reading correction, amendment, adoption of the agenda.
The 8th day session of the third quarter
So the pepper spray is suffocating the lawmakers. Pepper spray was used here.
3. Roll call. 4. Reading, corrections, or amendment and advice of the agenda. 5. Call for petition. 6. Call for special committee report. 7. Call for standing committee report. 8. Call for bills, motions, and resolutions. Now business on speaker's desk.
So the pepper spray is suffocating the lawmakers. Many of them can barely breathe or inhale. This is totally terrible.
C. Communication from M. B. Communication from Honorable Anthony F. Williams, representing Electoral District number 2, Maryland County, requesting the House to invite the Minister of Public Works to explain and give an account of how the U.S. 22 million which was allocated in the 2024 national budget was spent. E. Communication from Honorable Nyan G. Flomo, representing Electoral District number 2, Nima County, craving the indulgence of the Honorable House of Representatives to request the House of Representatives budget performance report covering the period from January to September 2024 from the Ways, Means, and Finance Committee. F. Communication from Honorable Asher D. Foster, representing Electoral District number 2, River G. County, requesting the general of the Honorable House to summon the Ministers of Internal Affairs and Finance and Development Planning on the payment issues for local government appointees.
So the chairman of the majority bloc is compelled to use handkerchief because of the tear gas used here by a group of men who broke in their way but were contained by the security here on ground.
On the alleged bribery involving the Ministerial of Transport and FWSC. 2. Appearance of the Minister of Internal Affairs, Director of Data Statistics, and Minister of Transport to provide reasons why the county service centers across the country are not providing the needed services to our people. 3. Appearance of the Minister of Internal Affairs to provide a report on the rollout of the local government out of 2018. 4. Appearance of the Executive Director of Renewable Energy Agency to provide comprehensive review.
You still have people forcing their way in here to disturb. You still have people doing that.
5.
They are coming, showing, using pepper spray. We just pray that lethal weapon is not used here.
J.M. Colley, Honorable Abu Bana Kamara, and Honorable Zina Nama for allegedly indulging in acts that are repugnant to the status of as members of the House. 8. Report from the acting chief clerk on plenary mandate to write the 30 honorable members who have been absent from session from the 22nd of October to present. 10 miscellaneous, 11 adjournment. Honorable presiding officer and co-presiding officer, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, that is the draft agenda for today's business. Thank you, sir.
Distinguished colleagues, you listen to the reading of our agenda. What is your will and pleasure? Honorable Malcolm Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, presiding, co-presiding, fellow colleagues. Having listened to to the reading of our agenda. For today's business, as per our rules, I want to move, Mr. Presiding, that this agenda be received, adopted, and used for our business today with the following amendments. That A, which is the letter, B, which is the letter of complaint, be considered as A, and B should be the appearances, and it continue in that order. If I can obtain a second.
So the lawmakers are still pleasing because of the pepper spray used in here.
Communication from the Chief
We
Executive
just
to
hope
proceed.
that other dangerous weapons are not used.
That was my amendment.
Before restating that motion,
We are still seeing movement of the
all
security.
those in favor of the motion say
It
yes.
shows that the
Against? Motion is carried.
cars are still
Call for petition.
coming.
There is no petition, Honorable Presiding Officer.
Call for special committees report.
None, sir.
Call for standing committees report.
No standing committee report.
Call for bills, motions, and resolutions.
No bill, no motion, no resolution.
Business on Speaker's desk.
Yes, sir.
Proceed.
Communication from the Ministerial of State for Presidential Affairs. November 8, 2024. Honorable Mediation, Chief Clerk, House of Representatives in section, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Dear Madam Clerk, I write with reference to a letter JNB/MOS/RL/2028/2024 forwarded to the Honorable House of Representatives from the President, His Excellency Joseph M. Boakai.
Please behave. The members of the public, please behave. We are in session, please. Please, we are in session. Thank you.
Forwarded to the Honorable House of Representatives from the President, His Excellency Joseph M. Boakai Sr., informing of circumstances that warranted the postponement of submission of the draft national budget for fiscal year 2025 from the statutory date of October 31, 2024 to November 8, 2024. Intervening period, the President has been made aware that a petition for a rate of prohibition was filed before the Supreme Court of Liberia by the Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives, requesting the intervention of the High Court in resolution of an impasse at the House of Representatives. Subsequently, the President received a communication from the Speaker indicating that the majority of members in the House of Representatives have requested certain officials from the executive branch to begin appearing for hearings in the joint chamber of the House, rather than before the Honorable Speaker. In his letter, the Honorable Speaker requested that the President instruct his officials not to appear before the majority members, stating that doing so will quote-unquote undermine the rule of law and set a dangerous precedent for our governance. The executive branch also takes due note of the fact that the Justice in Chambers on Wednesday, November 6, 2024, declined to issue the rate of prohibition as prayed for by the Speaker. The President regards the evolving situation with the utmost urgency and is unwavering about upholding the sanctity of the quote-unquote 3 separate but coordinate branches of government. Accordingly, in light of the prevailing circumstances,
The President is actively seeking extensive expert advice to ensure a thorough and complete understanding of the Supreme Court's ruling and its implications. The President therefore wants me to inform you that the President therefore wants me to inform you that the draft national budget for fiscal year 2025 will not be presented on the date as previously requested, pending the conclusion of the various consultations. It is the President's prayer that the honorable members of the House of Representatives will, in the interest of Liberians, resolve the quagmire in the shortest possible time. Please accept sentiments of our highest esteem, sincerely, Samuel Steenqua, Acting Minister of State for Presidential Affairs. Honorable Presiding Officer, Co-Presiding Officer, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, that is the reading of the communication from the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs. Thank you, sir.
Distinguished colleagues, you listen to the reading of the communication for the Office of the Chief Executive, His Excellency Honorable Joseph Yuma Baka, President of the Republic of Liberia. What is your weight and pleasure? Honorable Avas Jones.
Mr. Presiding, Mr. Co-Presiding, colleagues, having listened to the communication from the President of the Republic of Liberia asking for a postponement in the submission of the 2025 budget, I move, if I may obtain a second, that the President communication be received, noted, and placed in our archive for future reference. If I may obtain a second.
Distinguished colleagues, with what restating that motion from the Right Honorable Avas Jones of Margibi County, are you ready to vote? All those in favor of the motion say yeah. Against? Motion is carried. Deputy Chief Clerk, please take note. Next.
A complaint against Honorable Councillor J. Fonati Kofa, Speaker, House of Representatives of the 55th National Legislature, Republic of Liberia. We, the undersigned, respectfully submit our profound We, the undersigned, respectfully submit our profound compliments to the entire honorable members of the House of Representatives of the 55th Legislature, and herewith complain Honorable Councillor Jamaica Fonati Kofa, Speaker of the House of Representatives of the 55th National Legislature of the Republic of Liberia, for the necessary and appropriate action of the Honorable Plenary of the House of Representatives. Over the period of his incumbency, we have keenly observed and reached the conclusion that Honorable Councillor Jamaica Fonati Kofa has been involved with a number of issues which, in our view, grossly contravene the standing rules of the House of Representatives and bringing into conflict with the Liberian Constitution, the organic law of the Republic, and statutes. Distinguished colleagues, there is a series of issues upon which we can hold the Honorable Speaker liable. But for the sake of time and necessity, we have chosen to bring to the spotlight major counts as set out below. 1. Honorable Councillor J. Fonati Kofa is significantly conflicted with interest, which is impeding the smooth functions of various committees of the House of Representatives by being the leading consultant and lawyer for several agencies of government, state-owned enterprises, concessions, and other private companies in Liberia, over which the House of Representatives exercises oversight responsibilities. Some of these agencies, state-owned enterprises, and concessions include the Liberia Petroleum Refining Corporation, LPRC, the Liberia Maritime Authority, LMA, the National Fisheries and Aquaculture Authority, NAFA, Liberia Telecommunications Authority, LTA, the National Social Security and Welfare Corporation, NASCO, the Central Bank of Liberia, CBL, the Roberts International Airport, RIA, the National Port Authority, NPA, the National Oil Company of Liberia, NOCA, the City Trust Savings and Loan Bank, the Bead Mountain Mining Company, Bead MMC, and Telecommunication International Alliance, amongst others. This conflicted behavior of the Honorable Speaker violates Rule 45.1, Rule 45.2 of the Rules and Procedures of the House of Representatives under the subheading Conflict of Interest, which states, quote, where a member elected or delegated by the House to perform a certain task finds that the case at hand is related to his or her interest or that of a close relative, he or she shall withdraw from handling the case after notifying the House, the Speaker, or the committee on which he or she is a member, unquote. Rule 45.2 reads, quote, no member may be employed or engaged himself or herself in an occupation which is incompatible with the responsibilities vested on him or her, or is in breach of the trust given to him or her, or is damaging to the prestige and dignity of the House, unquote. Evidently, the Speaker, Honorable Councillor J. Fonati Kofa, conflicts his business interests, legal services with his leadership of the Honorable House, which grossly violates Rule 45.1, thus making it incompatible with his position, tarnishing the prestige and reputation of the House, and is detrimental to the common good of the Liberian people. 2. We submit that it is not possible for the Honorable Speaker is incapacitated from performing his functions, duties, and responsibility as the administrative, supervisory, and political leader of the Honorable House of Representatives when he directly, personally, and or indirectly through his law firm advises the companies mentioned in paragraph 1 above, all of which companies are subject to the oversight responsibilities of the Honorable House of Representatives. 3. The Honorable Speaker single-handedly selected Liberia's representatives to the ECOWAS Parliament and lied on oath that he conducted an election on February 7, 2024 without the conduct of an election. The Speaker submitted a list of Liberia's members of the House of Representatives to the 6th legislature of the ECOWAS Parliament to Dr. Sadi Mohammed, the Right Honorable Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament. In the transmittal letter which bears the subject, quote-unquote, election of Liberian representatives to the 6th legislature of the ECOWAS Parliament, the Liberian House of Representatives lied on oath and misled the ECOWAS Parliament, violating provisions of the protocol of the ECOWAS Parliament. Honorable Councillor J. Fonati Kofa's actions are in total contravention of Section A of Article 18 of the ECOWAS Protocol titled, quote, elections, terms of office, and vacancies, unquote, which states that, quote unquote, states representatives shall be elected by direct universal suffrage by citizens of member states. His actions are also in contravention of Section B of Article 18 of the ECOWAS Protocol, subsection B of ECOWAS of 18 states. The representatives of each member state reflect as much as possible the political configuration in the state. Even more consequential, the Speaker's action violated Rule 40.1 and Rule 40.2 of the House of Representatives, which are under the heading as follows. Rule 40, honesty and transparency. Rule 40.1 states, quote unquote, without prejudice to the provision of this rule, every member shall be honest and transparent at any time. Rule 40.2, which tends to define what honesty and transparency mean, state as follows, quote unquote, no member may introduce false information or unsubstantiated matter pretending that it is true, unquote. The occupant of the office of the Speaker is expected to exhibit high degree of credibility, integrity, and morality. And in addition, the Honorable Speaker is duty-bound to protect and defend the Constitution and the statutes of Liberia. Pursuant to his oath of office and rule of law. 3, 4. Instead, the Honorable Speaker's action and conduct evidently reveal that he lacks the moral rectitude and behavioral competence to perform the high office of Speaker of the House of Representatives, the third person in the governance of the Republic. The Speaker, Honorable Councillor J. Funati Kofa, during his tenure as Deputy Speaker of the 55th Legislature, alarmingly overspent his budget and was believed to have used his budget land as conveyor for suspicious financial transactions and or for his personal gain or aggrandizement. This is evidenced by the alarming outgoing of US $4,038,687 actual money spent. A whooping US $2,936,159, higher than the amount of US $1,102,528 budgeted for fiscal year 2023 for the office of the Deputy Speaker. Reference page 3 of the fiscal year 2024 draft national budget. This practice amounts to systemic corruption and continues to reflect negatively on the office of the Speaker and subjects this Honorable House shaded practices by putting a credibility tint on the image of the Honorable House, which conduct grossly violates Article 5C of the 1986 Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. Quote, take steps by appropriate legislation and execute orders to eliminate sectionalism and tribalism and such abuses of power as the misuse of government resources, nepotism, and all other corrupt practices, unquote. Rule 44.1 of the House's Rules and Procedures, being free from corruption, states, quote unquote, members are expected to fight corruption effectively by being free from corrupt practices and opposing corruption and set example in any anti-corruption struggle. 6. The 7-day sitting of the second quarter of the first section of the Honorable House of Representatives of the 55th Legislature of the Republic of Liberia, June 6, 2024, revealed through its agenda that the budget law was unilaterally uttered by the Honorable Speaker, Honorable Councillor Kofa, a communication from Honorable Councillor Clarence G. Gar, Representative, Electoral District of 5, Magdalene County. Honorable Speaker, Councillor J. Funatu Kofa was formerly town manager of Zebulon of North Carolina, USA, and was convicted and was disbarred from the practice of law following charges of embezzling approximately $500,000 United States dollars. Honorable Speaker, Councillor J. Funatu Kofa was made to restitute some of the money, and the rest was charged to community service. To date, Speaker Honorable Councillor J. Funatu Kofa is still doing community service in the town of Zebulon in North Carolina, which is expected to be conducted by March 2026. Speaker Councillor J. Funatu Kofa is a criminal that has spillover effect on his current position, thus harming the government of Liberia and the public, and as well damaging the prestige and dignity of the Honorable House of Representatives of the Republic of Liberia. In view of the foregoing, we, the Honored Sir, respectfully seek the indulgence of the plenary of the Honorable House of Representatives to investigate the Honorable Speaker on these counts and to take the necessary and appropriate actions. Very sincerely yours, Honorable Ellis J. Grant, Representative District Number 1, Riverside County, Honorable Johnson S.N. Williams Sr., Representative District Number 3, River G County, Honorable Anthony F. Williams, Representative District Number 2, Maryland County, Honorable Prince Todd, Representative District Number 8, Montserrat County, Honorable
Deputy Chief Clerk. To our minister, please, only the minister proper will be entertained to sit up there, and then we see him enter with his entourage. Please take the back seat. Sire, please provide seat for our guests, please. Thank you. Proceed.
Honorable Samuel M. Brown Sr., Representative District Number 1, Liba County, and Honorable Samuel G. Koga, Representative District Number 5, Liba County. Honorable Presiding Officer, Co-Presiding Officer, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, that is a review of the complaint from some of your colleagues. Thank you, sir.
So the Speaker has formally been complaining.
Distinguished colleagues, listen to the reading of communication from some members of the Honorable House of Representatives complaining the Speaker J. Funatu Kofa with all of the attachments to the complaint. With all restating that motion, distinguished colleagues, are you ready to vote? All those in favor? Your way and pleasure, sorry, distinguished colleague, Honorable Steve Tikwan.
Honorable Presiding, Honorable Co-Presiding, having listened to the complaint from colleagues with the exhibits, if true, constitutes violation of Article 90A of the Constitution, Rule 44 and Rule 45 of the Rules and Procedures of the House of Representatives, and perhaps other laws of this country on corruption and conflict of interest. For this reason, I move, if I can obtain a second, that a special committee be constituted to investigate this complaint as expeditiously, as reasonably practical, and to cite Speaker Kofa and all persons and agencies of the Liberian government referred to end this complaint, to set investigation. That's all.
So a special committee is to be established to investigate the Speaker of Kofa.
The Right Honorable Steve Tigman of Middlesex County. Before restating that motion, colleagues, are you ready to vote? I'm ready, Honorable Evans Jones.
Amen.
Mr. Presiding, Mr. Co-Presiding colleagues, to the mover, I will be ready to vote considering the complaint that is being filed by some of our colleagues against the Speaker of the House of Representatives. I will be ready to vote when your motion to carry that the Speaker be made to recuse himself from his seat to submit to investigation.
The amendment to that motion is that the Speaker should recuse himself.
From my brother, from my giving county, I accept.
The Speaker should recuse himself and be submitted.
Mr. Presiding, Mr. Speaker, co-presiding, distinguished colleagues, I will be ready to vote if the movement will accept that the amendment be made to the effect that the Deputy Speaker, current Speaker, having served as Deputy Speaker in 2022, was allotted 1.5 million and change, and he overspent his budget to 5.6 million. That said investigation would be part of the already read out investigation. If you so accept.
With no time to waste, my brother, I accept. Straight. I'm a big man straight.
Thank you, Honorable Presiding. To the movement, I'll be ready to vote where your motion to consider other aspects of complaint that were filed by Honorable Johnson based on the Speaker's appearance on the Spoon Show, which he mentioned a room at the Boulevard Hotel. He mentioned that the House was trying to establish diplomatic relationship with Guinea and others. I'll be ready to vote.
I accept.
Honorable Presiding, Honorable Deputies Presiding, distinguished colleagues, duly moving. I will be ready to vote if you could kindly accept a simple amendment that the complaint herewith submitted today to plenary, the Chief Clerk be instructed to share same with the Speaker to address him with the position. If you can kindly accept a simple amendment.
I accept. Distinguished colleagues, will take at least 2 amendments and close this chapter. Honorable Johnson Williams, Anthony Williams, and then we take Honorable Colette, and then we take decision on this. I wish they would see it.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Presiding, co-presiding, I will be ready to vote if the movement can accept this simple amendment that the investigative committee be given the time frame that will be able to work within the scope of that time to expedite this identical investigation. If he can agree with 1 month, I will say, okay, 2 weeks.
Did I hear 1 week?
1 week.
To the movement, you said 1 week.
Let me restate the motion.
Please.
Having listened to Yeah, the
Amendment, your amendment to his motion.
Yeah, having listened to a cross section from the floor from colleagues, I move.
You'll be ready to
I will be ready to vote to the movement if you can accept this simple amendment that the investigative committee be given 1 week to do their investigation and report to plenary.
So due process will be given the speaker. You should be submitted to an investigation, and the committee will submit their report within 1 week.
Honorable Thomas P. Fala, District Number 1, Lofa County, and Doyen of the House of Representatives and Doyen of the National Legislature, and Honorable Presiding Officer, Co-Presiding, distinguished colleagues, from Bond County, District Number 2, Jokole, I will be ready to vote if my distinguished colleague from Riverside County can accept this amendment. Because the Speaker, it is under investigation. The deputy, whom is not under investigation and whom is not conflicted in this complaint, be made to act in or assume the capacity of the Speaker that he work along with all relevant agencies, governmental institutions, or the branches of government, our multinational corporations, our foreign partners, to ensure that the proper functioning of the House, it is required. And also, the Chief Clerk be made to write all relevant agencies or SOEs, state-owned enterprises of government, mentioned in the complaint to give the relevant information that will aid this investigation if such amendment, choose opinion, if this amendment can be accepted by my distinguished, great honorable gentlemen of Riverside County.
With all the praises, I accept. Distinguished colleagues, listen to all of the amendments to the motion. Before restating, colleagues, are you ready to vote? All those in favor of the motion, please raise your right hand. Against? Against? Abstentions?
Yeah, Honorable Presiding, Honorable Co-Presiding, unanimous votes.
Thank you, distinguished colleagues, with the votes being unanimous, in keeping with the motion that has been made and passed. As the presiding officer, I will now seize this movement to announce the APA committee that will begin to do her work immediately. Before further ado, we need the committee chairperson of Judiciary, Honorable Michael Thomas will chair this committee. Honorable Mary Johnson will co-chair this committee. Honorable Ernest Marcier, member. Honorable Philip Benz, member. Honorable Austin Taylor, member. Honorable Mona Bishop, member. Honorable Sir P. Jala, member. Distinguished colleagues, we hope that you will do your work in keeping with the motion expeditiously and be able to report on next Tuesday. Clarence Banks, sorry. Oh, you were sorry. Clarence Banks, I'm sorry. So, Chief Clerk, please take note of the name of the specialized committee that will effect this investigation. Thank you. With that said, distinguished colleagues, we have our guests with us. Unfortunately, we have a polarized situation in our junk chambers. So we urge you to accelerate the process so that our guests cannot face similar problem we have. In keeping with our discussion, we invited the Honorable Minister of Internal Affairs,
the Director General of the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporations, as well, the Minister of Transport, Honorable Sally. So in that order, distinguished colleague, with your permission, we Honorable Chief Clerk, you will read the communications from the Honorable House of Representatives to begin with the Minister of Internal Affairs. Mr. Minister, could you please sit there? Please. Please read all of the communications, and then the Sergeant at Arms will administer the oath, and then we'll proceed. Thank you.
November 8, 2024, Honorable Minister, Ministry of Internal Affairs, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Dear Honorable Minister, I present compliments and rights by directive of the Honorable Members of the House of Representatives section to invite you to appear before plenary on Tuesday, November 12, 2024 at 10 o'clock a.m. in the joint chambers of the legislature to give a report on the roll-up of Local Government Act of 2018, and also to provide reasons why the county service centers across the country are not providing the needed services to our people, as mentioned in the communications from Honorable Ernest Marcier, Representative Electoral District Number 4, Lima County, and Honorable James M. Colette, Representative Electoral District Number 2, Bloc County, respectively. Honorable Minister, please see the attached communication. Please see attached the communication with sentiments of my highest esteem. I remain sincerely, C. Congress Chair. Communication to Liberia, the Managing Director of Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation. Honorable Presiding Officer, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, that is the invite to the Minister of Internal Affairs, Honorable Francis Sakila Nimale, Senior. Thank you, sir.
Sergeant of Arms, please administer the oath to the Minister of Internal Affairs.
Honorable Minister, will you please stand, raise your right hand, call your name and repeat after me. I,
Francis Sakila Nimale, Minister of Internal Affairs,
do solemnly swear that the testimony I am about to give, as it relates to this hearing, will be the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Now you please have a seat. Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Co-Presiding Officer, and my distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen of the Honorable House of Representatives, the witness is hereby qualified for today's session. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Distinguished colleagues, as you may be aware, we have a situation here. Will not permit us to keep our guests here too long, so we hope that we can make this conversation very succinct, because we have three of the agents of the executive to make the presentation. Please take note. We'll not eat until the proponent of the communication for at least 3 days, and then we can allow the minister to respond, and then we'll find a way out. Thank you. Honorable Ernest Marcy.
Mr. Presiding, Mr. Co-Presiding and fellow colleague, I'm glad at this date the Honorable Minister is here to address the concern as raised earlier regarding the roll-out plan and reports in terms of the implementations of the Local Government Act. I will now want to prolong, as the Minister have listened clearly to the communication and the intent of our interest regarding this communication. I would like to provide him the time so that he will let us know, as stated in the communication, what are the plans in regard to the implementation of the 2018 Local Government Act. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honourable Minister, you will now take the stand as you listen to the proponent of the communication. We gave you at least 5 minutes to make your presentations, and then colleagues will crisscross and then we'll proceed from there. Thank you. Mr. Minister, you have the floor.
Mr. Presiding, co-presiding, distinguished honorable members of the House of Representatives, we are able to go almighty and we are able to respond to the call of the August body. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Presiding, with your permission, we want to make a small clarity. There is a wonder out there as to why we are attending this call. Since in fact, this is a portion of the body, the majority bloc of the House. We are here because under the doctrine of separation of power, the legislature has oversight on the other two branches of government. Even a representative of my district has the constitutional authority to invite me and I must attend. The caucus of any country has the authority to invite me and I must attend. Most especially so when we have 43 lawmakers, 44 lawmakers assembling and they request our presence. We are under obligation to attend, and so we are here. Having said that, Mr. Presiding, one of the cardinal pillars of the agenda of President Bloc and his government is decentralization. We have placed emphasis on it. We have been directed to ensure that decentralization takes full station in the running of this government. In our capacity as minister responsible for local government, we have no choice but to do what is required of us. Firstly, decentralization is divided into 4 components. Decentralization of services, the evolution of responsibilities and institutions, delegation of responsibilities and functions to trusted partners, and of course privatization. What do we mean? For our government to ensure that power is devolved to the people, we must decentralize services. By that, we mean there has been an establishment of service centers across the country. We came in when the Act of the local government has been passed since 2018 with a 10-year implementation plan. Unfortunately, we realized that almost 7 years had gone before we came in, or 5 years, so to speak, 5 to 6 years, with not much being done. Under our stewardship and the direct supervision of the President of the Republic, we were able to establish county councils as required by the Local Government Act. We were able to establish the National Council of Chiefs. We were able to have leadership elected and subsequently inducted into office by the President. We have been able to establish local councils, county councils of chiefs. At the moment, as we speak to you, the county development agenda is being validated across the country with the direct involvement of the national legislature, both chambers. Mr. Presiding, members of the Honorable House, we have been able to ensure that the President was encouraged, which is his heartbeat, the devolution of authority to our local governments across the country. What we haven't succeeded doing is to make functional the service centers across the country. Reason being the absence of budgetary appropriation. Be that as it may, our partners, our bilateral and multilateral development partners who are taking interest in our decentralization program are working with us. As we speak to you, on a direct project being financed by the World Bank through the Ministries of Finance and Internal Affairs, an assessment of all of the 50 service centers across the country has just been completed. Report is being compiled. An reputable international institution was contracted. Those contractors, those consultants are at work. It is our hope that the honorable body will see reason to appropriate sufficient funds, and I mean sufficient funds in the budget that will help with the implementation, full implementation of the decentralization program, particularly the reactivation and operationalization of the service centers. Because of the service centers being functional, services to our people will be delivered. People wanting to get ID cards, people wanting to get passports, people wanting to get driver license, people wanting to register vehicles, people wanting to get birth certificates, death certificates, and you need the rest of the services, social services to be delivered by this government. We no longer have to come to Malaria. That will reduce costs and reduce time. Mr. Speaker, at this point, I want to pause, and if there are questions or inquiries, we'll respond. Thank you, Asami.
Thank you, Mr. Minister, for that presentation. Distinguished colleagues, we're now into the field of view and listening presence. Like we said, the environment is not that conducive for us to expand the solution. So we're done. Obitaya of Pommy, of William Fumo, and then two on this side will take from Tikwa, the first three.
Honorable Presiding, co-presiding, ethnic colleagues, to the Minister. We take this time to appreciate you for your help. We say you took over, we enjoy the working relations between you and the Parliament, especially the Honorable Representative. But this concern have been coming to us the implementation of the local government act is good, but the appointment that was done by the president and your ministry, we observe that in the clause there are positions you should have certain documents, you have certain qualifications to occupy the positions. But since in some other country and district, there are poor occupiers and don't meet that criteria. And we believe that if that part is not fully implemented, the local government activity will not be strong. So what you have to say?
Honorable Deputy Speaker and Presiding Officer, co-presiding, distinguished colleagues. Let me extend my thanks and appreciation to the Minister for honoring our invitation. I have a few questions for the Minister. In your deliberation, you highlighted lack of budgetary support to make the campus center functional. And we are now poised to receive the budget for appropriation, and it originates usually from the executive. Have you done your homework sufficiently so that that request will come to us? Question number one. Question number two, the Constitution is clear that our chiefs should be elected. And you also expressed that one of the agenda items of President Bloc is to ensure that the decentralization process goes smoothly and is effective. What plans are you making for our chiefs to be elected in the shortest possible time? And thirdly, there are a number of chiefs that have been appointed in our area, and a lot of them are not on salary. What efforts are you making in this land to ensure that the chiefs have their salaries and they take pay regularly? Thank you so much.
Honorable Presiding, Honorable Co-Presiding, Honorable Minister, it's not a question, but it's an appeal to you. The people of the electoral district 2 Riverside County, most especially the people of Beerwall, they are concerned since this government took over, no one in our area has been appointed, and they are counting on you to convey their message to the president so that the leadership within the area of the Beerwall can be constituted. Thank you.
Thanks. Last.
Deputy Speaker, co-presiding, fellow colleagues. Mr. Minister, your office is one of those offices that I highly respect. My concern and my district concern, when the district council were being selected, I was not informed when I heard the Internal Affairs Minister said that it's strictly executive. Now, it's me that you are coming to for budgetary allotment, something I know nothing about. It's a concern. 2, the people that are selected by your ministry on the council, some of them cannot even read and write. My concern there is this country, we are not putting educated people so that we'll be able to strive to develop this nation. A man who can sign with the finger tongue is selected. So I just want you to take me.
Please take it back.
I'll take it back.
Thank you.
Yes, so that is my concern, but I take that back. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, distinguished colleagues, I will take it back. So, Mr. Minister, Finally, before you respond, I would like to close the comments by asking you this question. I have to say, Mr. Minister, as the presiding member of the
electricity no electricity has been cut off also. So at the moment there is no electricity. Electricity just being cut off.
responsibility of the Ministry of Internal Affairs is to foster peace and reconciliation among our people. And I'd like to draw my voice to all the people to say thank you thus far. However, we have been informed that the Ministry of Internal Affairs, under your direct supervision, has gone into Lofa County specifically that some of our chiefs, honorable chiefs, clergy chiefs, you name it, that were appointed as far back Charleston, the former President George Williams. We have been informed by you, Minister of Internal Affairs, took a decision to have most of our chiefs or some of our chiefs replaced from position they served, some of them 5 years, 10 years. Some of them got into these positions by exception, a sentencing clause owing to the fact that some of those arrangements that has been done in the past, you were invoking the Local Government Act and not bringing them up to speed, but just created a trauma for our people, especially the Mr. Minister, the case in is FOIA. And you, Minister of Internal Affairs, went to FOIA, invited chiefs and others into the City Hall. Those chiefs honor your invitation as the direct boss of the chiefs of our country. Unfortunately, and lastly, that you, Minister of Internal Affairs, having invited your chiefs, they were humiliated after inviting them just to announce replacement in the hall after being called by you, Mr. Minister, to grace an occasion in FOIA specifically, and then District number 2, District number 3, and District number 4, all of the districts there is this panic. Then you begin by dismissing and replacing instantly in the City Hall of FOIA, where you were heard on the media, on the calling Mr. Minister, and know we have a best practice. You saw what is going to be employed. There are procedures in this basis of replacement. But to the best of our collection, that you, Mr. Minister, stood in the hall, pronounced Mr. John Brown, for example. You have been replaced by Mr. Paul Sefa, thereby creating trauma for our people, and there's a serious panic within our people in the community. So we'd like you to conclude in your presentation, Mr. President, as the direct representative and part of the caucus of Local County. Most of my colleagues have serious concern from the county, but I just thought to present this so that we can make this clarification as we represent our people. Thank you, Mr. Minister. How true is that?
Mr. Presiding, co-presiding, distinguished members of the House of Representatives, this minister who was nominated by President Walker, confirmed by you, the legislature, through the Nigerian Senate, subsequently appointed by the President, has the mandate to execute in accordance with the law. And so every move we make is in accordance with the Local Government Act of 2018 and the Constitution of the Republic of Nigeria. So we are under obligation to make sure that we create a database to enable the National Election Commission to subsequently conduct an election of chiefs as required by the Constitution. Prior to that, the law provides that the minister responsible for local government appoints acting chiefs. In the instance case, because presiding, let me be reprimanded by this august body, should they receive and play any recording that have me calling names of chiefs and telling them they are dismissed. No. This is what we did. We realized that across the country there are people holding chieftaincy positions and they are not appointed according to the Act. When we acted in district number 1, which you represent, Mr. Butani, those who allegedly
Please.
those who claim that they were dismissed by me communicated with you. You graciously forwarded that communication to me and I will respond. I officially responded to you that our action in the district of Koya local county was in accordance with the law. However, we requested that you solicit from those claiming to have been dismissed to forward to our office their letters of appointment as chiefs. To our dismay, all of the communications, Mr. President, that you forwarded are communications indicating appointment by other commissioner, statutory superintendent, or recommendation to one of the paramount chiefs in this case was recommended by the Honorable Superintendent of local county to the minister, and that constituted an appointment for that paramount chief. The Honorable Superintendent at the time made the recommendation to the Minister of Internal Affairs and sent a copy of that recommendations to the chief in question. And that, for that chief, constituted his appointment, and there's no appointment. So, again, if there's any of those chiefs that will provide evidence of appointment by the Minister of Internal Affairs as chief, we reinstate them with immediate effect. That's one. Two, those chiefs who should have been appointed by the minister, but instead appointed by the president, their power and authority cease to exist upon the promulgation of the order issued by former President Weah on December 22nd, 2023. And so following the coming to force of this government, they cease to exist because they are presidential appointees. And so this minister is left with no other alternative but to either re-appoint upon the recommendation of the people or replace such appointee of the president. Thank you. On count 6, district council selected without the input of the legislature. Therefore, an honorable member was called to order. The Ministry of Internal Affairs, or the minister responsible for local government, does not select members of the county council. The law provides that there are institutions existing in the various counties that constitute representation on this council. For example, The Council of Chiefs of the county, they are represented on the council by 2 chiefs. And I don't think we expect all of our chiefs to be elected. The civil service, the civil society organizations leadership at the level of the county is represented on that council. They elect their president. The youth of the county are represented on the council. They elect their president. Now, we do share some of the concerns you have. What do? We are working with our partners, our multilateral and bilateral partners, our donor partners of goodwill, to help us train these members of the council. It is required 2 things: that there be established a county support office that will work with this council, and those to be employed as civil servants in that county support service office are a legal counsel and an experienced administrator to be evaluated by the MIA and the civil service agency to support the council. Members of the council, as we speak to you, we have been funded by donor partners to train them, and that training is vigorously ongoing. Whether this person can read or write, there are no criteria in the law that is set, that is enshrined therein, that you must be a college graduate, a high school graduate. No. You must belong to one of the organizations named in the legislation. And this is how the council is being constituted. Number 5, there are appointees of government. One of the honorables said, appointees in government that do not meet the criteria as established by the law. The president of this country does not know everybody's appointments. These people are being recommended. Yes, I do agree. The president has an office that's scrutinized. But if there is any human error that somebody, one way or the other, was appointed and didn't meet the requirement, we are prepared to accept that being known to the president through the office of the Minister of Internal Affairs, specifically naming the appointee or appointees and give us their educational history. Information. And we can assure you,
Please give it up
that
this
we
position.
advise the
Let me
president
stop proceeding. You'll be okay. Please allow you.
Number 3, when we keep being elected, when President Walker His Excellency was sworn in, he declared the Liberian people and the world at large that he will ensure that elections are held during his tenure, the election of chiefs. You will realize that in 1986, following the coup, the Liberian constitution that was suspended was rewritten. A referendum was held and it was upheld by the Liberian people. Today we have the 1986 constitution of the Republic. That constitution clearly states that kings are to be elected. Unfortunately, since 1986, this country has not experienced any chieftaincy election. But the Bloc has assured you, honorable members of the legislature, that there will be a chieftaincy election during this term. As we speak to you for your information, we are working with the National Election Commission and other stakeholders with a proposal. We shall endorse the proposal and make funding available. By October 2026, we'll be coming to you soon to approve that by October 2026, if there's an election to be held.
Way for Honorable Dimas Dre. Honorable Dimas Dre, way forward.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to provide the way forward. Mr. President, fellow colleagues, having listened to the Minister providing clarity on how he is proceeding with the Local Government Acts, based on the information that he has provided, that so far the act has been deconcentrated. That is to say, there have been institutions that have been deconcentrated into our various counties, having made the information available that powers have been delegated to those institutions within our counties, and have been also provided further that the ministry is at the point of devolution. That is to say, to devolve the services in the capital to the various counties. Mr. Presiding, realizing that the minister has also informed this august body that local elections for chiefs will be held, based on the information provided also that at the stage of devolution, the ministry is making efforts for the resuscitation of the 50 county centers within our country, a move that can obtain a second. Fellow colleagues, that the minister be made to provide us report on the re-establishment of the county centers, and that the minister be discharged. As so moved.
Majority of Maryland County then asking for the minister to make a report on the progress of the reopening of the county centers.
Fellow colleagues, distinguished colleagues, I will be ready to vote where the movement accept. He has announced the discharge of the minister. Prior to then, special act from the Senate that when said report is then made, the minister should submit said report, and if there is any inquiry from any members, said inquiry can be sent to said committee, and that said committee should report to us within a week time. This was accepted by the honorable member. That week. Within 2 weeks.
Distinguished colleagues, with the acceptance of the amendments, are you ready to vote?
Yes.
All those in favor of the motion say yea.
Yea.
Against? Motion is carried. Members of the Armed Committee to work with the office of the minister. These are as follows. Honorable Fakuto, the chairman of the committee. Honorable Wilford Nathaniel Babu, the co-chair. Honorable Diane Vani, member. Honorable Samson William, member. Honorable Yan Fumo, member. Honorable Bishop Manan, member. Honorable Kissy College, member. Thank you. Mr. Minister, would like to say on behalf of the House of Representatives in this session, we'd like to say thank you so much for accepting our invitation and that presentation that was released. Thank you. Wish you all the best. Have a successful day and you return back to the office. And please work with the committee to be able to report to the House of Representatives. Thank you. You are here about this change. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Take the next sent to Minister of Transport. What the right to the escort minister? You come in here. Okay. Community escort minister. Okay. Will you stay in session, please?
So the Minister of Internal Affairs has been discharged by this August body. And next is Sally Taro, Minister of Transport, will take the witness stand.
Okay, Deputy Chief, we are back, so we will allow yes.
So the appearance of these witnesses has to do with the alleged private scandal which the name of the Ministry of Transport and the Water and Sewer were caught.
Nobody will accept order yet. Why are you telling order?
Go ahead.
November 8, 2024. Honorable Minister of Transport, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Dear Honorable Minister, I present compliments and right by director of the Honorable Members of the House of Representatives in section to invite you to appear before plenary on Tuesday, November 12, 2024 at 10 o'clock a.m. in the joint chamber of the legislature to provide clarity on the statement issued by the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, LACC, on the alleged bribery involving the Ministry of Transport as contained in a communication from Honorable Johnson S.M. Williams, Sr., Representative, Electoral District Number 3, River G County. With sentiments of my highest esteem, I remain sincerely C. Commerce Chair, Acting Chief Clerk. Honorable Presiding Officer, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, that is the communication with the same content served the Managing Director of Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation. Thank you, sir.
Please, the Minister of to distinguish us. What is that?
Do solemnly swear the testimony I'm about to give as it relates to this hearing be the truth, and nothing but the truth. So happy to Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Co-Presiding Officer, and my distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen of the Honorable House of Representatives. The witnesses are hereby qualified for today's session. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'd like to say, Mr. Minister, Mr. Managing Director, you are welcome to this forum. We hope our presentation and the discussion will succeed. We are sorry for the atmosphere, although we are all working in the interest of the Nigerian people. Thank you. So we give the proponent of the communication just 3 minutes, and then we will listen to our discussion. Honorable Johnson Williams.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Presiding, Honorable Co-Presiding, distinguished colleagues, without wanting to restate the content of my letter, I would like to summarize thus. That today we have invited the heads of the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation in the head of the Ministry of Transport to provide clarifications as to the alleged payout of money from the 2 institutions' operational accounts given to us as members of the Honorable House of Representatives allegedly. And this clarification is very important, not only just to clear our integrity, but it's also for the Liberian people to know as to the facts surrounding the allegation against the Honorable House. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Very succinct, Honorable Williams. Thank you. So we begin with the Managing Director, please, and then the Minister will take the stand. Current number. So please give me the mic. Okay, go ahead. It's being conducted, so let's go ahead.
Honorable members of the House of Representatives, the accusation is that the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation allegedly bribed you honorable members in an attempt to remove the Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives. The question I kept asking is...
Observation. I repeat my observation.
Honorable Presiding, Co-Presiding, fellow colleagues. Given the precedence of our legislative practice, when witnesses are here in addressing the House, obviously we have to speak. We agree with the dispensation given to the Minister of Internal Affairs due to the medical operation that he took. So, honestly, I observe that the witness need to stand.
Observation noted.
I'm on my feet, sir.
Proceed by recognizing the chair, the co-chair, the co-presiding, honorable members, and then you proceed.
Honorable Deputy Speaker and Presiding, Honorable Co-Presiding, Honorable members of the House of Representatives, I am grateful for the invitation to come and clear the good names of the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation on allegations we heard coming from the angle of the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission that we bribed allegedly members of this honorable body with an amount of 150,000 United States dollars in an attempt to remove the honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives. Let me start by saying, Honorable Presiding and members of this honorable body, that the accusation is false. It has no truth, because the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation operates strictly on best financial practices, and that we cannot afford to withdraw or send from our account without stating clearly reasons for which we are withdrawing. That is the reason why in time past, this honorable body instituted rules and measures and created agencies like the internal audit agencies to check all of our dealings within our respective entities. But I feel that it will also be an insult to this very honorable body and its members for anyone to think that they, as honorable as they are, can be bribed in an attempt to remove the honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives. When people go to election, they elect their best. That's why thousands of Liberians stood online on October 10th to elect you all. And so the accusation has no merit. We have, in furtherance to that accusation, presented our entire account history. All of the accounts, the 8 accounts that the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation has, with EcoBank, LBDR, and the Central Bank of Nigeria, to both the Financial Intelligence Agency and the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, and have called on them to conduct a swift investigation and also publicize the results of those investigations. I will appeal to this honorable body to also call on the LACC to swiftly conduct the investigation so that all of us, our names can be clear from this. Once again, the accusation has no merit and is false. Thank you, Honorable Presiding, Co-Presiding, and members of the House.
Thank you, Mr. MD. No merit, it is false. Mr. Minister, next. Thank you.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Co-Presiding, Honorable members of the legislature, I received a letter from this body inquiring about alleged bribe to the legislature for the removal of the speaker. That allegation that was purported on social media I saw from the LACC is false, it's misleading, it's misinformation, and it's disinformation. The Ministry of Transport adhere to PFM laws, IAA audits and IAA operations, and we are supported by the Ministry of Finance. The ministry has 3 accounts, 1 USD and 2 Liberian dollars account. What we did was we wrote the LACC for a swift and expeditious investigation, and we want that investigation to go public. But it beats my imagination that people were accused, members of the executive branch, and also you honorable lawmakers, of bribes when they don't have no facts, they don't have no evidence, it's not even true, and these wild allegations which are deemed malicious are made. To go beyond that, in the name of transparency, in the name of accountability, the Ministry of Transport knows nothing about what happened. What we do is that we work every day to create policies and regulations for all forms of transportation in the country. That is our responsibility. But what I want to say here, to be more clear for the record, I want to submit my WhatsApp number or my personal phone number, because to give people anything, there has to be some form of communication besides the LCC report. I would like to say my number. I can give it to anybody of the house, and I'm calling on the LCC, and I'm calling on all MTN, Lone Star, Orange. My numbers are there. It's free. They can give it to LCC. They don't need to subpoena those numbers. Let those numbers be given to LCC. Let them show a pattern of communication between me and any members of this body. Because I know it's not true. My WhatsApp information, if there's any privacy on WhatsApp, I waive that privacy right now. So those can happen and people can see the facts. Why people go about and say those baseless things, I'd like to clarify and say something about the Ministerial Transport working state. The Ministerial Transport is in charge, or had been given the mandate by this body to raise necessary government revenues. And we have done that expeditiously. We have exceeded what we should be doing this year. Also, we plan, I know you guys, the honorable bodies were talking about decentralization. It is in our plan next year to fully decentralize the Ministry of Transport and also to increase revenue by a significant amount. That is our focus and that is our work. As you seen outside, the Ministry of Transport will be carrying out these inspection activities. We want to appeal to all members of the honorable body here to work with us. That is all I have to say. I yield my time. Thank you so much for inviting us to provide this clarity on this all-important national issue. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding, Mr. Co-Presiding, colleagues. The doyen of the House has the gavel. So I wanted to ask a question, but again, for the record, let the record state that our guests only informed this body of communication from the both entities to LACC regarding an alleged allegation of bribe. We did not hear in this testimony of our guests that any invitation was served then by LACC to conduct an investigation. So with that being said, I move, if I may obtain a second.
No, I think we need that clarification for the record before you make your motion. So, Mr. LD, Mr. Minister, please speak with that.
Honorable Presiding, Co-Presiding, and members of the House of Representatives, the only communication we have received from the LACC is request for our account information, which we are earlier submitted to them, and we call on them. We've not received any invitation from the LACC since we requested them to investigate.
Well, I think the LACC hasn't written the Ministry of Transport formally, so we haven't received anything. All we heard was on the radio through a social media post. I hope, Honorable VA, that answers your question, and other members of the legislation, I hope that answers your question. We have never received anything from the LACC so far.
Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding.
Any communications from the LACC?
Thank you, Mr. Presiding, Mr. Co-Presiding, colleagues. Having got the clarity from our guests regarding the alleged bribery, that LACC has not written any of them, I move, if I may obtain a second, that the guests remain on oath, and the committee on PAC take charge of the matter to report within 1 week. If I may attain a second.
Distinguished colleagues, before restating that motion, I will call it. Are you ready to vote? Are you ready, or second kind?
Honorable Presiding Court, for the movement, I'll be ready to vote with the accepted amendments that will allow our guests to report to this body or the committee in 2 weeks' time, if you so accept that.
Legislatively, it is implied. You say within 2 weeks, so it means that based upon the urgency of the report and the evidence induced, the committee can do such as well as.
Thank you so much, Honorable Presiding, co-presiding, distinguished colleagues. Our guests were invited here predicated upon the communication from Honorable Williams. And one of the things that the communication highlighted is that LACC have already gone ahead with an allegation. And we listened to our guests, and they provided some clarity. Some of them have taken some initiative by submitting their accounts, information to the LACC. I will be ready to vote if the movement can have this amendment, that the committee that will be set up will also engage LACC so that it provides further information on how far they've gone. To the movement.
The committee work.
Thank you.
Distinguished colleague, with the acceptance of all their readiness, are you ready to vote? All those in favor of the motion say yes. Yes. Against? Motion is carried. Mr. Minister, Mr. Managing Director, will let us thank you for accepting our invitation. It's our anticipation that you will comply in a similar manner, working with the committee stated in the motion, Committee on Public Accounts, to do all of the due diligence and be able to report to this plenary. With that said, distinguished agents of the executive, you have now been discharged. Thank you. And that is the communication for ECOWAS.
Honorable President, we also the renewable energy agency is supposed to appear, but the sun.
Okay, please read that communication first.
VATA statistics also sent a letter of excuse.
So read the excuses.
Honorable C. Congress Chair, Acting Chief Clerk, House of Representatives, Capitol Building, Monrovia, Liberia. Honorable Chair, reference. Request for rescheduling appearance before the Honorable House of Representatives. On behalf of the Executive Director of the Rural and Renewable Energy Agency, we acknowledge receipt of your communication dated November 5, 2024, received on November 6, 2024, in which the Honorable House of Representatives invites Samuel B. Naba Jr., Executive Director of the Rural and Renewable Energy Agency, to appear before the joint chambers of the House of the Legislature on Tuesday, November 12, 2024, to provide a comprehensive briefing on the electrification of rural communities across Liberia and the sources of funding, as referenced in a communication from Honorable Alexander Paul, representative of the Electoral District No. 1, River G County. We wish to inform you that the Executive Director, Mr. Samuel B. Naba Jr., is currently attending the 7th section of the International Solar Alliance Assembly in India and is expected to return to Liberia on November 12, 2024. Due to his absence on the scheduled date, we kindly request that the Honorable House of Representatives grant him an excuse and reschedule his.
So these are former lawmakers. See William Fanny Tackett, District Number 17, Maserado County. Representative Hassan Kazulu, District Number 17, former Representative Gabriel Buchanan Smith. We see Emerson Kamara from Grand Cape County and others. So they have written both sides of the conflict to intervene, and they will take the back seat to listen to what is unfolding.
Honorable C. Commerce Chair Adam Chief Clerk. The Honorable Adam Chief Clerk, I would like to express my sincere appreciation for your communication issued me on Monday, November 11, 2024 at 1:15 p.m. requesting my presence before the plenary on Tuesday, November 12, 2024. I am honored by your invitation and will be pleased to meet with the members of the House to provide the requested information. However, I kindly request your indulgence in granting me an excuse from the city on Tuesday due to a prior commitment. I will be attending my graduation ceremony at the AMEU Graduate School, which is scheduled for November 13, 2024 at 10 o'clock a.m. in Roxville. I will be available to meet with the Honorable Body on Thursday, November 21, 2024 in her 10 o'clock a.m. section. I will also ensure that this communication is forwarded to my superior, the Assistant Minister of Vital Statistics at the Ministry of Health. Honorable Acting Chief Clerk, I will greatly appreciate your consideration in granting my request for an excuse. Thank you for your understanding. Sincerely yours, Robert T. W. Jolly Jr., Acting Director, Bureau of Vital Statistics. Honorable Presiding Officer, Co-Presiding Officer, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, those are a letter of excuse from the two different entities, Rural Renewable Energy Agency and the Vital Statistics as per your mandate for them to appear.
Distinguished colleagues, we are excuses and have been granted to appear on Thursday. Noted. Thank you. Honorable Acting Chief Clerk, there was instruction given by this Honorable House of Representatives before we go further. Let me recognize the presence of our distinguished former colleagues. I see John Chambers, Honorable Emerson Kamara, Honorable Gabriel Buchanan Smith, my own brother Dr. Fire, I see Hassan Kazulu and Lester P. Distinguished colleagues, you are welcome. Thank you. With that said, Honorable Deputy Chief Clerk, we will observation.
Mr. Presiding, Mr. Co-Presiding colleagues, Mr. Presiding, I see Honorable Dumper Fire and Hassan Kazulu now friendly coming to session together.
Two former colleagues of District Number 17.
2017, I don't know whether they were this friendly, but anyway, that's the period of democracy.
Thank you. Good observation. Thank you, colleagues, at least. So, Honorable Deputy Chief Clerk.
Yes, sir.
The House of Representatives, we have you informed this body on the instruction that was given on last session day to have our distinguished colleagues of the last action to be present in this chamber to answer to allegations. Those invited are as follows: Honorable Josiah Marvin Cole, Honorable Edward Papi Flomo, Honorable Frank Safoko, Honorable Eugene Collins, Honorable Abu Banan Kamara, Honorable Zina Nomo, and Honorable Ellis Noir for the alleged involvement in the act that occurred on that fateful October 17. Could you please brief the body any communication, verbal or written, for which they are not present today, or are they on the way? Thank you.
Honorable Presiding Officer, co-presiding officer, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, as per the mandate, letters were done to all of those you requested us to invite for hearing today. Unfortunately, those letters were carried by the dispatching officer, but those honorable involved mandated their staff not to receive any communication coming from the majority bloc, as they call it. And so, what we also thought to do is that to be able to absorb all avenues, we decided to use emails and WhatsApp. But we did not get any response to that effect. And so, as we speak, those letters were not delivered. And normally somebody will respond to they were delivered through the email, but the hard copy was not received.
Distinguished colleagues, we listen to the presentation of the Deputy Chief Clerk. What is your way and pleasure? Honorable Formula.
Mr. Presiding, co-presiding, distinguished colleague, the essence of service could be through hard paper, email, modern life has brought WhatsApp and other means. Having listened to the chief clerk, the acting chief clerk, and based on the reading and response thereto, I move, if I can obtain a second, that this body send another notice granting them due process to avail themselves before this august body to explain their side of the story based on allegation leveled against them, for them to appear on Thursday, seeing being the 14th of November in section. If I can obtain a second for say rearrangement.
Distinguished colleague, before restating that motion made by our distinguished colleague from County Formula, are you ready to vote? I'm ready. Honorable Marco Thomas, then Honorable Samuel Koga.
Mr. Speaker, presiding deputy, co-presiding fellow colleagues, having listened to the movement, having listened to that motion, and it's clear by our laws, the civil procedural law, that service by process were executed to the extent that the last known email address and WhatsApp numbers were being used to convey the communication. So I will be ready to vote, Mr. Moven, if we can please include service also by publication, that we include 3 renowned newspapers. We also post them in there for at least 3 days, while we also convey the hard copies and use the same medium by WhatsApp number, last known email address, and the rest of it. If you can accept that amendment. Thank you.
But that amendment, are you saying instead of Tuesday, instead of Thursday, we're not deferring to next Tuesday? Because I'm going to talk about 3 days.
I'm actually just adding another service by process.
Yeah, so we need to clarify that because the motion was clear for Thursday. Thursday. So if you talk about 3 days, then you're taking us to Tuesday. Anyway, to the movement.
Okay, so let me amend my readiness. That we also include service by publication.
To my learned colleague, the issue of service is a fundamental principle, I think, within the law. I so accept, and as to the issue of the day, I so reject and maintain Thursday.
To To the movement, once we are all cognizant of the fact that due process is a hallmark of every investigative proceeding, I will be ready to vote if the official departure of communication can formally reduce whatsoever transpired into writing. I'll be ready to vote if that can be accepted. Should reduce it that he or she carrying the letter and the people refuse because he is the one interacting with them, not us.
So I said.
So, Deputy Chief Clerk, when that accepted, the procedure and channel should be from your office until the protocol officer, right, or the dispatching officer. The dispatcher should take those communications to the respective offices when returned. All information should be sent to your office if rejected. On ours, you. Then we put a motion to test.
Mr. Presiding, co-presiding colleagues, to the Honorable Gentleman of District Number 7, Bond County, who is the mover, I will be ready to vote for you to consider the simple amendment that while the communication was served by electronic means, that the acting chief clerk, who is the deputy chief clerk, also post those communications in our leadership chat room in which these members are, and then we will also take those information from the leadership chat room and post it in our various chat room. If you can.
Yeah.
So accept.
With the acceptance, distinguished colleagues, already Honorable
Honorable Deputy Speaker, co-presiding, distinguished colleagues, I will be ready to vote, provided that the communication that will be said will be accompanied with a sergeant of arms to deliver those communications to them. I'm ready to vote if you can convert it as amendment.
From my member colleague from Lofa, for security reason, so accept.
I thought we did that to include the chairperson of defense or the co-chairman of national security. With that said, distinguished colleagues, are you ready to vote? Yeah. All those in favor of the motion say yeah. Against? Motion is carried. Honorable Deputy Chief Clerk, please act accordingly. Honorable Chief Clerk, in keeping with our Tuesday discussion, there was an additional mandate given to have 30 of our colleagues invited by this Honorable House of Representatives. Do you care to inform us?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Honorable Presiding Officer, co-presiding officer, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen. Yes, again, as per the mandate, those communications were done to the 30 lawmakers, for them to appear in compliance with Rule 21 as was stated in the motion. The dispatcher took the communications and he sent us this report, which I will read for plenary hearing. The 55th House of Representatives plenary, subject, refusal of complaining representatives to the plenary to take delivery of their letters written to them, and also the refusal of the 30 absent representatives from plenary to receive their letters from the House plenary. I write to inform the House plenary of the 55th Legislature, Republic of Liberia, that efforts made by me to contact directly or through their office of some House of Representative protocols to deliver letters from the plenary to the 7 complaint lawmakers to appear in plenary on Tuesday, November 12, 2024 at the hour of 10 a.m. in a joint chamber of the House of Representatives Capitol Building, Monrovia, Liberia, were all fruitless, as some protocol and staff members of said representative declined to take delivery. However, letters from the plenary to the 30 lawmakers that were being absent from plenary were all denied acceptance by Honorable Councillor Funabi Kofa, Speaker of the House of Representatives, and ordered me to take all said communication back to the Deputy Chief Clerk after I was forcefully taken to his office by Mr. Patrick Moore, who is now serving as acting Chief Clerk for the minority members. I want to inform the plenary that Honorable Jason Siwo ordered that all keys to the Deputy Chief Clerk office in my possession should be turned over to him after Mr. Patrick Moore suggested to him, and so they took the keys from me. Signed, Honorable George Chede, Dispatcher. Honorable Presiding Officer, Co-Presiding Officer, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, yes, those keys were taken, the letters were refused. Again, we use the email to be able to do delivery again. But what puzzles us is that my office, Salinas, were changed. As we speak, Mr. Patrick Moore is the one who is in hold of my key, of the keys of the new Salinas. And I was informed that anytime I enter the office, they have posted 2 persons there so that when I enter there, they can call to him, and I don't know what the next course of action will be. Most besides that, when the communication was sent on email, there was a threat also to the senior stenographer who email we used to be able to serve those communications. A court action was also threatened and other verbal attacks. Honorable Presiding Officer, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, for now, this is where we are. Thank you, sir.
Distinguished colleagues, listen to the presentation by the acting Chief Clerk and Deputy Chief Clerk of the Honorable House of Representatives. What is your will and pleasure?
Inquiry. I want to find out from the Deputy Chief Clerk whether the email that you guys used to send. Honorable Deputy Speaker and presiding, co-presiding, distinguished colleagues, my inquiry to the Deputy Speaker. I'm telling the Deputy Chief Clerk, you said somebody's email account was used to transmit the mail, and then there was a reply which contained threats. Am I correct? Okay, so that justifies that indeed the email was delivered and the mail was received. That's the point I want us to note. Thank you.
Inquiry.
Presiding and co-presiding distinguished colleague, I would like to inquire from the Deputy Chief Clerk, Acting Chief Clerk, as to who specific placed that threatening statement or calls based on the name of the representative that were communicated with.
Honorable Jerry K. Yobo.
What did he say?
He said, any attempt for any communication of that nature to be said to him again, I'll read it verbatim. Don't never send me such a document again. If you do, I will take legal action against you. Thanks, Jerry K. Yobosion, BSc, MS.
With our colleague, Honorable Samuel Kogan. Samuel Kogan. Information before we move forward. We gave Honorable Anthony Williams that dispensation.
My dispensation where
Honorable Deputy Speaker, presiding, co-presiding, distinguished colleagues. As I sit in my seat, I'm trying to retrospect on the tough time the secretarial staff vis-a-vis the chief clerk is going through. We should not take it for granted. We ourselves, we have been encroached upon. Mr. Presiding, I would want us to take some decisive steps against these people. Let them know that yes, indeed, this is the quorum that doing labyrinth people business. With that being said, I would like to suggest for Thursday that with the communication that will be delivered today, if for any reasons those communications are rejected and the threat continue, we should expel those lawmakers that are involved. Because if you listen to the labyrinth people all around the country, due process is not being followed. So I will suggest order denied. Order denied.
Honorable Williams, please. You are called to order, please.
What's the order about?
What's the point of order?
What's the point of order?
I think our colleague is proceeding wrongly. The tenets of due process as provided in Article 21 of our Constitution and also our rules should be highly respected. So the communications were being submitted the first time. It was submitted, served but not returned. And then secondly, we have suggested as a decision from plenary to do a follow-up or a second communication. So we wait for the service of the
point of order is noted. We seek a way forward, Honorable Samuel Coker. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Presiding, co-presiding, distinguished member of the 55th Legislature, the way forward in this issue as follows. 1. For circumstantial evidence to be admissible into court, it must be corroborative. Consistent with the behavior of our colleagues. 1. This session was disrupted. Our colleagues were flogged. They were chased, humiliated, and brought to public disrepute. We left session. We went down to read a resolution denouncing to the world that Fudati Kofa will have no vote of confidence in him. We can never sit on his gavel. We were stoned. The speaker acting today, the deputy speaker, office was besieged by a lawful lawmaker who clothed with the authority to administer the affairs and the proper functioning of the house based on our rules, namely Marvin Cole, who is the chair on rules and order, exhibited disorderly conduct. Mr. Presiding, this is a sacred timber. It must be respected. You see presidents of other African states, as well as past president of Liberia, always sitting in this chamber for deliberation. And our coming here was legitimized by a resolution by this other body that this place should be considered as session for plenary for the majority group or the majority member of the House. Having laid the premise, way forward. I can't be presiding, I will soon learn. But let me make this thing clear to the public. They came again and obstructed the chairs, as you can see here, by evidence. This morning, while coming, they brought in tear gas. One of our colleagues was pushed. He fell on the ground. Honorable Rabbi Mumbe of Bonkante about Marvin Cole in my presence. consistent with this attitude and non-compliant posture, having communicated with them, and every communication requires feedback, their refusal, we are constrained and left with no other option but to give an ultimatum that if these processes that we're going through and they don't agree and then comply to the rule of law which require due process, Mr. Presiding, there should be a final decision by this other body on Tuesday sitting. Thursday is the last opportunity given them by due process, and if you can permit me that Tuesday, this other body should take a resolution. Motion. So predicated upon it, I move and I'm getting a second that Thursday, when they are ready today to counter the failure on your part, due process have been met, and the plenary should be left with no option but to take legal steps that require based on our rule. If I can obtain a second.
Distinguished colleagues, before restating the motion made by our distinguished colleague, Honorable Samuel Koga, are you ready to vote? I'm ready, Honorable Kliger.
Honorable presiding, co-presiding colleagues, I will be ready to vote if the movement can accept this simple amendment. The acting chief clerk made mention of his cylinder to his door being changed. I will be ready to vote if the motion can state clearly that he be made to inform the director of maintenance, he be made to inform the director of security through written communication. We know that in there we have classified information about this legislature. It's something that we need to take very seriously. So I will be ready to vote if you can kindly accept that amendment that the motion carry as such. Thank you.
To the movement.
Mr. Presiding, I will partially accept and partially reject. So I accept it.
Okay. Distinguished colleagues, with the acceptance, are you ready to vote? All those in favor of the motion, please put your right hand up. Put your right hand up. The presiding is in flight, colleague. Take your vote. Or you stated through your vote. Result.
Honorable presiding, co-presiding, there are 42 for, no against, no abstention, meaning the vote is unanimous.
With 42 for, distinguished colleagues, the motion is carried. Honorable Deputy Chief Clerk, please act in accordance. Thank you. Yes, sir. Communication from Honorable Jan Flomo. Our distinguished colleagues, we have the majority Bloc chairman. Sorry, is Honorable Koga. We have been informed that you are here to do your mediation. So please contact Honorable Koga and then colleagues that can make and have some discussion. Thank you. We recognize your presence, colleagues. Thank you so much. Communication.
Communication from Honorable Jan G. Flomo.
So we see
November 11, 2024.
We see this former district Someone lawmaker. We see Fanny Tackett. We see Gabriel Bugano Smith. We see Lester Pay. We see Hassan Kazulu. We see Emerson Kamara. These are all former lawmakers of the 53rd and 54th legislature, being escorted by the majority Bloc chairman, taking them to a place to have their meeting.
From January to September 2024 from the Ways, Means and Finance Committee. Honorable Deputy Speaker and distinguished colleagues, as we prepare to receive the 2025 fiscal year budget, it is prudent to have a general understanding of our outturn for the 2024 fiscal year budget. Information from the requested report will better prepare us to realistically contribute to the budget preparation process. Kind regards, sincerely yours, Honorable Jan G. Flomo, Representative Electoral District Number 2, Nima County. Our presiding officer, co-presiding officer, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, that is the reading of the communication from Honorable Jan G. Flomo of Nima County, District Number 2. Thank you, sir.
Distinguished colleagues, listen to the reading of the communication as being read. What is your will and pleasure? Honorable Jeremiah Soka.
Honorable Presiding, Honorable Co-Presiding, distinguished colleagues, I've been listening to the well-written and self-explanatory lecture written by a well-learned colleague of Nima County. I will move, if we can, call the proponent of this communication 3 minutes to elasticize this communication to this focus body. If I can obtain a second.
Distinguished colleagues, before restating that motion, are you ready to vote? All those in favor of the motion say yeah. Against? Motion is carried and passed. Honorable Deputy Chief Clerk, please. Okay, sorry. Please, 3 minutes. Sorry.
Thank you, Presiding. Honorable Presiding, Co-Presiding, distinguished colleagues. The communication is self-explanatory. It has a particular basis. For example, Section 8 of the approved budget law of 2024 provides pertinent parts that each spending entity for which appropriation has been made in the budget shall submit a quarterly budget performance report with explanatory notes of the quantitative and qualitative results for spending and appropriation. Additionally, Chapter 14 provides that the chairman of the House's Committee on Ways and Means and Finance and Development should present to the House through plenary written financial report every 3 months, which constitutes income and expenditure. So based on these 3 provisions, and we've been poised to receive the budget, I think that report would serve as a useful purpose to prepare this honorable plenary in addressing some of the issues that we are faced with. So this is the purpose of my communication, and so honorable colleagues, I'm calling on you to support this call. Thank you.
Distinguished colleagues, with the presentation of our colleague that is very succinct, are you ready to vote? All those in favor, Honorable, way forward, agenda.
Mr. Presiding, Co-Presiding colleagues, I'm going to say thanks to the honorable gentleman from Nima County for that communication. And with the content of said communication, I move, if I may obtain a second, that the Committee on Ways, Means and Finance be written to submit a report, if possible in person, not later than Thursday before this committee, before this body.
Thank you.
The committee is headed by the chair as per our rules. The chair and the co-chair.
Distinguished colleagues, let's restate that motion so our colleagues can.
Mr. Presiding, co-presiding colleagues, having listened to the communication from the honorable gentleman of Nima County regarding the report from the Ways, Means and Finance Committee from January to September, I move, if I may obtain a second, that the chair and co-chair of the committee be written to appear before this body on Thursday to make the 3 quarterly report to this honorable body. If I may obtain a second.
With the motion being seconded, distinguished colleagues, are you ready to vote? Are ready, Honorable Ernest?
Mr. Presiding, Mr. Co-Presiding, and to my distinguished gentleman from Maggie, I will be ready to vote if you can accept this simple amendment. Given the fact that our colleague had not been in session since the 17th of last month and wouldn't know this word about, I will be ready to vote if you can accept that we give our colleague up to Tuesday of next week to make that budget performance report to this body.
Right. So, other gentlemen, our colleagues are fully aware that they have to do the Liberian people business, and that is the reason why they were elected. So they have to be in section even today. So giving them up to Tuesday, it is better that the communication go. Again, they could come on Thursday. So with that, I humbly reject.
With the rejection, colleague, are you ready to vote? All those in favor of the motion say yeah. Against? Motion is carried. Deputy Chief Clerk, please act. Communication for ECOWAS. ECOWAS.
Honorable Samuel Koga, Chair of the quote-unquote majority bloc, House of Representatives, Monrovia, Republic of Liberia. Honorable Member, Parliamentary Mediation Mission of the ECOWAS Parliament on the political impasse at the Liberian House of Representatives, Monrovia, 11 to 15 November 2024. On behalf of the membership of the Community Parliament, I have the honor to extend sincere greetings and well wishes to you and the good people of Liberia. Honorable Member, Liberia has recently recorded some impressive benchmarks in respect of consolidating the gains of the return of peace, security, and democratic systems in the member states, particularly with the smooth transition of power in November 2023. However, the present political impasse at play in the Liberian House of Representatives threatens to mar this collective community effort to maintain peace and security in a fragile region that is equally grappling with the aftermath of coups d'etat in 4 member states and the exit threats of 3 of the 4. Consequently, it is based on this fragility that directives were issued by His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in his capacity as the current chairman of the ECOWAS Authority of Head of States to seek an immediate parliamentary resolution to this parliamentary crisis through the Community Parliament. As head of the Community Parliament, I'm honored to inform you that by virtue of the supplementary act relating to the enhancement of the powers of the ECOWAS Parliament adopted on 17 December 2016 by the ECOWAS Authority, the institution is empowered, quote-unquote, to contribute to the promotion of peace, security, and stability in the West African region. It is in this regard that the ECOWAS Parliament wishes to undertake a parliamentary mediation mission to Monrovia from 11 to November 2024. The 5-man delegation on a mission will be led by me and includes 2 deputy speakers and 2 floor representatives. Amongst the objectives of the assigned mission are: 1, to gather the root causes of this impasse at the House of Representatives and its implication on the stability of the member states. 2, to engage with the key stakeholders to find a peaceful resolution of this impasse. 3, to propose concrete recommendations to the ECOWAS Authority, the Liberian Authority, and all stakeholders with the view of maintaining political stability and cohesion in the member states. As one of the central figures related to the impasse at the House of Representatives, I humbly request for an opportunity to have a working visit with you and my delegation to engage in frank and constructive discussions on this pertinent issue and to collectively arrive at an acceptable and amicable resolution to the matter at hand. Your calm consideration and time will be greatly appreciated so that the delegation can meet the directive on the chair of authority. I will be leaning on Senator Edwin Melvin Snow Jr., head of the Liberian delegation to ECOWAS Parliament.
Honor, please. Proceed, please.
Head of Liberian delegation to ECOWAS Parliament for support with all necessary arrangements in connection with the meeting. In anticipation of a favorable response to my request, permit me the opportunity to convey to you, honorable member, the assurances of my highest consideration. Right Honorable Haja Mimam Haja Abrahiman.
Distinguished colleagues, we listen to the reading of the communication from our colleagues from ECOWAS seeking audience for this oral body. What is your waiting pleasure? Honorable Prince Quilly.
Honorable Presiding, Honorable Co-Presiding, distinguished colleagues, after you heard a comprehensive reading of the communication for ECOWAS, that we get that due respect to being our colleague, we are even glad to hear the content that has come forward. I will move, if I can obtain a second, that the communication be noted, received, and be noted for further discussion in our next session on Thursday. If I can be seconded.
The chair will seize that motion because I think that our colleagues definitely should be given. So we will seize that motion and entertain another motion to have our distinguished colleagues visit on Thursday. Although, if you can restate it, or please question
That's what I said. The communication is noted.
No, noted. No.
We should be received and give them due notice that next Thursday.
Next Thursday or this?
No, this Thursday. I was saying this Thursday. I should be open for discussion.
They should come.
Yeah, but we invite them because the issue of
I think the motion should be, the communication should be received.
No, we have been on the readiness. But the issue should be received.
Thank you. Before restating that motion, are you ready to vote? I'm ready, Honorable Yan Frumo.
Honorable Deputy Speaker and Presiding Officer, Co-Presiding Officer, distinguished colleagues, to the movement, I will be ready to vote if we can be clear with this Thursday date so that our colleagues from ECOWAS can be present and have that working visit with us. Furthermore, in communicating with them, we should express our lack of confidence in their point person here, which is Senator Snow. Because if it is a mediation purpose, neutrality is very important. He has demonstrated beyond reasonable doubt that he's not a neutral person in this situation. And so he can be the one to be leading a mediating delegation to meet with us. To the movement.
Our land brothers from the Lima County Electoral District 1, District 2, as we have provided clarity regarding the presence of our police from the ECOWAS.
You got to control your body. When you come in, I have to move from there. As you come out,
Mr. Presiding,
okay, I will join from
Mr. Presiding colleagues to the movement. I will be ready to vote were you to consider the two amendments
One, that the communication be open for a brief discussion where the addressee will give additional information pertaining to what wasn't written in the communication. Two, that the communication from ECOWAS be received and the intent of the communication that ECOWAS should visit us, that be done on Thursday in open section in this joint chambers. I will be ready to vote for you to consider my 2 amendments.
To my brother about my giving, I will start from the bottom and go to the top. Your second amendment to this will accept it, but the first one will still reject, because we are all agreed that Thursday they will be here for the discussion.
With the accepted distinguished colleagues, are you ready to vote? All those in favor of the motion say yea. Against. Motion is carried. Honorable Chief Clerk, please act. Thursday, it should be made to come. Distinguished colleagues, we will now entertain a motion to have the 2 communications deferred to next Thursday. If we can have a motion. With the motion we made, we call for a motion for adjournment. Thank you, colleagues.
Honorable, please wait. Honorable. Lawmaker, please wait. Lawmaker, please wait. Lawmaker, please wait.
So we now will proceed together.
So we've come to the end of this session. We expect to be here again on Thursday for Thursday session. The lawmakers have been advised to move in unison because of the ongoing security situation here. So they will march together. They won't go. Look out for more road talking. So the areas have been barricaded because
Go with the car. What are you waiting on? Where the driver in the car? But the man come
Stop here.
Tiens la wa.
See, baby, go well.
Your friend that you supposed to say you unaware. You're in t-shirt by the way. You have a paper string here. By the way. Para acá, miro. Ahora no.
Hey,
Come come and stand in front.
No,
let's go down. Slow down.
Sorry, I don't want to get.
Slow down. Let it go. Slow down. They will rotate. The car. But let it slow down. Get it? People are trying. I'm not going to try in the car.
Don't leave it, man.
Slow down. No, but you can drive it down.
My man, leave it, man.
You're doing the right thing. It's at your heart talking to the wait for you. Want to say that? Wait a minute, why would you? Step for la mia open. Oh yeah. All right. Yeah. That's for that.
Niggas will take this.
I didn't make it drop. Come get behind the door. You're carry through it, man. Oh, there we go. The truck will park. Follow the man. I can drop on that, man. No, no, man. Let go. Don't stop. Go. My man, come on. They want to try to go back in the stage. Now they walk on the